Hello, my name is Jocelyn, and today I will be talking about community colleges. First of all, I'd like to start by asking, have any of you heard that community college isn't the best option after graduating high school? Community colleges have been around for so many years, yet it's kind of interesting to understand how and why community colleges were created. Now, I also understand that a lot of people don't choose to go to community college after graduating high school because it's not well advertised, and well, a lot of people don't see themselves going there as four-year universities have taken over, and it's usually the route that a lot of people go through. I am a credible person to talk about this because I am currently a community college student, and I did go to community college straight out of high school. However, although I do see that a lot of people do talk bad about community colleges, and a lot of people don't exactly see themselves at community colleges, I am proud to say that I am a transfer student going to UCLA during the fall. And overall, I wouldn't change my years at community college for anything. Throughout this speech, I will be talking about how community colleges are beneficial as to the fact that they provide pathways for first generation students and provide additional support, and even provide the option of having the ability to transfer to a 4-year. First, I will briefly talk about the history of community colleges. Then I will talk about how community colleges are helping first generation students. And lastly, I will talk about how and why a lot of more students are choosing to go to community colleges instead of a 4-year. To start off, I will explain the very beginnings of community colleges. Community colleges have been around for quite a while, but it's truly interesting to know that community colleges and their purpose wasn't fully formulated until somewhat recently. According to Associate Professor Richard Dury, in the spring of 2003 on Inquiry, community colleges in America originally termed junior colleges or 2-year colleges have their roots dating to the Morrill Act of 1862, which essentially expanded access into public higher education. It wasn't until 1947 that the true purpose of community colleges was created, as it became a more accessible form of higher education after the Great Depression. And it wasn't until the 1980s that community colleges became the institution of education that we know today. According to journalist Kay Barrington on May 14, 2019, on Community College Review, community colleges have changed the face of the American higher education system. Furthermore, I will discuss how community colleges are helping first-generation students. Being a first-generation student can be very stressful, but it is seen that more and more community colleges are helping out their first-generation students to reach the American dream. According to news journalist Zarina Kay, in a May 29, 2019 news article on Spectrum News, it is estimated that more than 40% of Californian community college students are considered to be the first generation of their family to pursue a college education. She also reports that many first-generation students rely on their counselors to help them navigate higher educational spaces. Since most first-generation students tend to go to community colleges, it is important for colleges to implement support for their first-generation students. As more programs are being put to help first-generation students, it is seen that they feel more seen and are even able to be more proactive in asking for help. According to reporter Josh Moody on May 14, 2019 on US News. Lastly, I will focus on why more students are going to community college. While it is true that community colleges have drastically changed the American higher education system, it is also important to know why more students are choosing to go to community colleges instead of going to a 4-year university. According to Grace Chan on September 6, 2018, on Community College Review, 4 years have carried more prestige. However, as prices for universities continue to rise and community colleges continue to expand their fields of study and improve their quality, the field of higher education appears to be changing. Despite looking at the differences between price points, many students are choosing community colleges because of smaller size classes, flexibility in their schedules, having qualified professors, being able to be confident while transferring, and simply because community colleges have open admission. According to journalist Devin Morrissey on January 14, 2020, on College Raptor, another reason that students tend to go to community college is location, as the distance from your hometown to college will play a major role in what financial burdens are taken throughout schooling. And in some ways, it's basically a win-win situation, as not only is your tuition going to cost less, but also you have little to no housing costs. And while many don't see the correlation that community college is equal or up to par to universities, in some cases it is seen that students who go to community colleges learn just as much or even more than students who go to a four-year university. Now that we have reached the end of my speech, let's wrap things up. First, I did a brief history lesson on community colleges. Then I talked about how community colleges are helping first-generation students. And lastly, I talked about how and why many more students are planning on going to community colleges now more than ever. Overall, throughout the speech, I talked about why community college is beneficial, as they, again, help first-generation students and even provide the option of transferring to a four-year university. Now, remember what you have learned here, and remember to share it with others. And remember to not feel ashamed about going to community college. After all, it doesn't matter how you get there as long as you get there.